What's up, guys? Fudge Ratchet here. This is episode 2 of CD Hunting and More. I think this is going to be a great video for everybody. Um, but yeah, so starting off with, this is my favorite thrift store in the city right now. I don't want to give it away. Um, Today they had some really, really great stuff. I mean, you got like official PS3 and PS4 controllers, which is pretty cool to see. My favorite thing today was to see these Connect adventures like all stacked up. It was really funny to see all that. So it was just super cool. There's World of Tanks Xbox 360 edition. I've never actually seen that before, so that was pretty interesting. But yeah, I mean there was tons of other stuff as well that we'll see in the video. But this is really cool to see. I also saw this copy of Black Ops 4 for Xbox One. I actually didn't really mind that game. I got it on PS4 a couple years ago. I played it with a friend. It was all right. It was a pretty good Black Ops game. Now, this is pretty cool actually. On the other side of this cabinet, and there was this one PS5 game that was Spider-Man Miles Morales, and like I think they sell games for like $5, $10, and if you just want the base game, that's a pretty good deal. I mean, you might as well just wait for the Game of the Year edition, possibly, if you're into that. This is Super Monkey Ball Deluxe for PS2. It's not the greatest port, I will say that. And some sports game that I thought I was interested in. So, I saw this and I knew I wanted it. This is Project Gotham Racing 3. And I've gotten into racing games recently a lot more. I've been collecting 360 a little bit more now, so that was a great pick. This is the CD racks that they have. I found some really, really good albums in here. We've always found like really great stuff in here. Not today though. Just the thrift store also has a really, really big wall full of Blu-rays and DVDs. This is like the smallest section that they have only for Blu-rays. I'm kind of only interested in getting Blu-rays right now, higher definition for me at least, and I just think they're a lot more reliable right now for me at least. I still pick up DVDs when I can, but for any newer stuff like modern movies right now, I mostly just get the Blu-rays of them because they usually are always cheaper. This is a Batman Forever. I have not seen it yet, but seems interesting. Yeah, they always had some interesting movies or just weird DVD stuff like How to Garnish. Yep, that's interesting. But yeah, I mean, you never know where you're gonna find here, I guess. So that's always the best part. This is a blast from the past for me. This is a Walmart documentary that I remember seeing in high school about the impact of Walmart on small businesses in rural areas. This is another great movie, actually. This is The Russians Are Coming. The Russians Are Coming. I actually own that on Blu-ray. Great comedy, great cast of people and stuff. Would recommend that movie. The Facebook, uh, I got nothing to say. That is interesting. I have no idea what that is. That is interesting to say the least. Yeah, so they have a pretty not great selection of books here, I would say. Uh, I'm getting into books a lot more now, mostly just reading Stephen King right now. Holy crap, that is two Shane Dawson books, actually. I remember someone reading I Hate Myself in high school, Man, have times changed of what's going on with him? Strange, strange man. I think my favorite part about these places are just like these just shelves and shelves of just crappy electronics. I don't know. I just find it entertaining just to like sit through all this kind of rubbish. Sometimes not, sometimes rubbish. Not all the time, but a good majority of it is kind of just a little, weird. They just always have those like really cheap keyboards laying around like these ones, just funny to see all that stuff. I think this is a pretty cool item too. This is a iPod video, well, one of the videos at least. I don't remember the exact model. They were charging 15, which didn't seem that bad of a deal. I always thought of like picking these up and like trying to mod it eventually, but I honestly don't have any Apple stuff really right now. But as you can see, the screen was not in the best shape, with some weird, lines coming down. And but they had some great selections of music on there. Whoever had it, I mean, they had, I believe, like some a lot of metal stuff. My favorite is, you know, Disturbed. Yeah, that was awesome to see. That was a music video from one of Disturbed's songs, which is really cool to see. Uh, but yeah, I mean, all the controls worked and everything, and like I was trying to look into seeing like if I could repair it and stuff. I don't really have the time for it, and I think somebody who really likes iPods a lot more would get a kick out of it. And but yeah, I mean, this is super cool to see. Really, really awesome. I'm very bad at understanding the menus, but yeah, it was super cool to see, and yeah, I think it was just nice all around. What is that little ogre doing? Mewing? I can't wait to have this video outdated in like 2 weeks. Anyway, check out this Connects roller coaster. I actually remember having one similar to it, but the stupid chains break and you can't really do anything about them. Cool set though. I mean, I've always been interested in like miniature roller coasters and stuff as a kid, so that was pretty cool to see. This is actually really freaking cool. This is a Dazzle. I mean, I remember when people used to use this on YouTube to record like footage of games and stuff. And I actually did that for a little bit when I was just fucking around with one of them when I was really young and stuff. I thought it was super cool, but they used to be really expensive. RoboCop 2 poster shout. That's pretty cool and interesting to see that. So that was pretty awesome. And I think like right here, part of me regrets not picking some of these board games up, but like at the same time, it's like, who the hell am I gonna play this with? A weird audiobook thing that was kind of interesting to see. Yeah, that's what they look like. But like, you just see like some really weird, obscure board games and stuff. That's mostly just like those are puzzles and stuff. But like this thing right here is like I think it's like Puppet Masters. It's like this weird card game. It's like, what the hell is that? It's so interesting. I kind of wish I picked it up, but I, yeah, what am I gonna do with it? It's just like it's gonna take up space. No one's gonna you know play with it and stuff. It's interesting though. It's super unique. I mean, a lot of this is like kind of just showing people like footage like this, and maybe somebody would be like, "Oh, I remember that game," or I remember playing it or something like that. It just seems so weird. It just seems so odd. I loved it. I love finding like weird stuff like that. But I think overall, I mean, it seemed pretty interesting, seemed pretty fun. Let me know in the comments if you played it. This one looked pretty cool. This one looked pretty interesting. A lot of pieces though, a lot of pieces. So I mean, luckily it was brand new, so you don't have to worry about that. Now this store, this is another Housing Works. This one had some really, really good bangers for CDs, and I was simply blown away by this. I mean, if you can see, you'll see later in the video and stuff. It's really, really good stuff. I mean, like when you see this, you're like, it's a decent size, but it's like not that whatever. But when you really dig in there, I mean, like you're seeing like tons of stuff. I mean, just weird stuff. I mean, like sometimes I always wonder like who donates a lot of this stuff. But I mean, you just never know what you're gonna find really. And so this is like super fun. I was looking through some of the DVDs. Nothing really caught my eye. There was that Back to the Future collection. I was again, maybe I should have picked it up, but I'm still kind of just looking for Blu-ray right now. So, but yeah, no, but it was so cool to see a lot of that stuff. So this is like kind of my second time finding a Weird Al CD in the wild. This is Running with Scissors. This is a really really great album. Of course, it's has the really famous Albuquerque song in there. I had never really listened to Weird Al albums before. This was my first time listening to one in full, and it's a really fantastic album. It's a great album. Would highly recommend it. So that was super cool to see. I stupidly cut the recording of this, but I was super super shocked to see Lady Gaga, the Fame Monster. Now this is the OG release. This isn't the deluxe or special editions that are on Spotify right now. But it was so cool to see. I've never ever seen a Lady Gaga CD like out in the wild like this. So that was like a really great find. So that was super awesome. And just some more obscure stuff too. Like, this is super interesting to me. I mean, I love just kind of like those laid back kind of hip hop albums. This is I don't know what this was. This is interesting. I believe this is somebody's mix, if I remember correctly. But I mean, again, just like really, really weird stuff that I've never ever seen before out in the wild. So this is super, super unique stuff. And like again, like this is at the same store too. I mean, like, you know, I was blown away by like what I was finding. And like and this is like Enigma, dude. Like how freaking like uncommon this is. This is Enigma 2. Really kind of obscure, weird electronic band. I mean, like I was freaking blown away. And this is like my second album I found of Enigma in like Housing Works. It's super weird. I mean, just like the most outlandish stuff is here. And it's just like no one's interested in this, or just I mean CDs are dead. CDs are dead for a lot of people. It's really vinyl right now, which is fine. But you I mean you're gonna see a lot of interesting stuff on CD, and it's super fun to see, man. This is great. This is great stuff. The next location is Video Games New York, and this one I think this is a great video game store, not only for their prices, which are pretty decent around here in the city, but also just of how small it is, but how much they cram in here. And I think that's just a great way of the store and how it's designed, and like what they really compact in the store is just really fun to see. I'm currently just collecting 360, some PS2 right now, but mostly 360, DS, and maybe some Game Boy stuff. But right now I'm just kind of interested in 360 right now. I picked up some titles, didn't really see anything that caught my eye necessarily. But great selection of games. So this is the used 360 aisle. Some pretty decent prices. Um, they vary, as you can see, just like, some really basic titles. This one caught my eye, Battlefield Bad Company 2. I've been kind of interested in playing the campaigns for uh shooters that I've kind of missed out on. So, yeah, that seemed like a pretty good find. Some of these games that I had in my pile, I put them back. The only ones that I actually bought were Namco Museum and Battlefield Bad Company 2, as I just think that's was something I was more interested in at the time. So, yeah, great stuff. So, we went to this Goodwill, I believe in Pennsylvania. We were on a family trip, and you know, my mom decided to plan out some Goodwill stuff for us, and I did find some interesting stuff here, but not really. Maybe 3 CDs in total. No games at this place. No movies that I was interested in. If you like this video, leave a comment, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I'd really love your thoughts and critiques on my videos, and I'd love to see what I can improve on. I did find this though, this trans classics collection caught my eye with some of the songs on here, Sandstorm, and of course Zombie Nation. uh you gotta love the classics, of course. uh but I think in total, like I said, 2 or 3 CDs. Didn't really, nothing really else caught my eye. 12 redneck days of Christmas. That's interesting. But just some weird titles that haven't seen. It was really cool. still looking. What are you looking?
I don't know if I should get more of
What?
those.
What? Get what?
The only reason I wanted to get one of those.
Get what?
The one of those containers.
Nah, you can get better ones.
What?
What kind of containers?
Something nice for water.
Nah, you can get better ones.
I don't even know what I'm doing. Most of these things that are around here either don't work.
I like how you're just saying this out loud. Like, yeah, cool. I like how you're just saying this out loud.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, maybe some of this stuff works. Like, you're not gonna be like fucking. This is the last first store that I went to a while ago. Was checking out, their DVDs and Blu-rays again to see if anything really caught my eye. Nothing really in the movie section. I did find some pretty cool stuff in the CD aisle, which is always fun to see, you know, like this Black Hollywood Wiz Khalifa album. And I've never actually seen a Wiz Khalifa album in the wild, so that was pretty cool to see that. Pretty amazing stuff. Oh, this is actually really cool. This was Black Sabbath, Paranoid, if I'm not mistaken. So that was pretty cool to see. Missing the back cover, but still, I picked that up. Thought it was pretty interesting. I also picked up this album called Phillips Head that seemed to be alternative rock, early 2000s. So I was intrigued. Kind of like that era of metal and alternative rock. So definitely picked that one up. This is actually kind of interesting because I've been picking up a lot more trance albums, and this is one of them. This was Sunscream. Definitely a late 90s release from the UK. Love that era, 1997, 1996. Electronic is really, really great. So awesome pickup. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you have a great day. And I know this is a longer video. I'll try to make them shorter next time, but I appreciate you watching all the way through. And I hope you have a great day.